watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O's, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O's, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Marsh
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here on the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you, my friend?
I'm well, Jimmy. You're all dapper. You're looking slick as usual.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, well, without a hat for once. I just got a haircut, so just one.
You're just trying to taunt me, huh?
No. Just look, Pierre, it's going, buddy.
Yeah,
It's
well,
going. I'm
that's
catching up.
okay.
Anyhow, my friend, how was your weekend?
Good. A lot of hockey. I didn't
Yep.
really watch football, believe it or not. And you know how much I love football.
Yeah,
I
I
watched
do.
a lot of hockey at all levels this weekend. I watched some American League. I watched a lot of NHL. Watched a whack of college.
Mhm.
How about Michigan State?
I know, huh? I
Coach
know.
Nightingale brings the boys into Com Ave, and they do a little dance
Yeah.
on BU.
Yep. That was a statement win by them for sure, Pierre.
Yeah. You know what else was a statement weekend? Our good friend Rand Pecknold and Quinnipiac against Maine. Big statement. 4-0 win. 4-0 win.
Yeah.
And after a tie the night before.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Very
I felt like they
impressive.
would play them tough. Pierre, I was going to ask you too. Oh, just on the football note, good thing you didn't watch your Giants yesterday.
I read all about it this morning. Yeah, it's okay.
They're learning. They're learning. That's all. That's growing pains.
What do you mean they're
It's growing pains. The kid played well. They just blew it, but it happens. That's what happens when you're.
Patriots are smoking, yeah.
I know. Though I want their quarterback Drake May to learn how to go out of bounds or go down when he should, because he is going to get croaked one of these days. He's running it like a running back, and you can't do that.
Yeah, no,
But hockey-wise, Pierre, you know what? We'll segue in. Our guest is going to be Jonny Lazarus from Daily Faceoff, who knows the New York Rangers well, and they went into the Bell Center, Pierre, and took care of business with the Montreal Canadiens with a win there. I thought the Canadiens, as you and I were saying, like I went back after we spoke this afternoon and tried to watch a little of it. I don't know if the word would be tentative a bit. They didn't look like themselves. They didn't seem to have that attack mode that they've had in a lot of games.
They were good at the start. They had a 2-0 lead. And then I don't know if they got too cool for school. I think there was more urgency from the Rangers. I'll give the Rangers that. They deserve credit for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what sparked the Jonathan Quick, Lane Hudson little tete-a-tete.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
That got the attention of the Ranger players, and they kind of surged after that.
Yeah.
They did. So, and Quickie's a tough guy. Like I don't know how many people know. Like Jonathan Quick's been in the league a long time. Jonathan Quick's a tough kid. I remember interviewing him one time, and I said, Jonathan, a lot of people really like you. Like you got this nice guy charm. He goes, I'm not a nice guy. I was like, that's one of the best answers I've ever heard.
I like
He
that.
says, I'm not a nice guy.
He's a UMass guy, though. That's
But
good.
you know what? He is a nice guy. He's a winner. He's played a lot of hockey. People forget this too. I was telling, he started with the Reading Royals in the East Coast Hockey League.
Mhm.
That's where he started. He left school early, left UMass early, went there, went to Manchester, did his chores, and then right to the NHL. But he did his chores.
He really
his
did.
chores.
He really did. And what was that famous? I can't remember it. There was a quote when he was talking, and I don't know if it was you that he said it to you about how flexible he is.
Well, he did it with me. So
Okay.
I said to him, every goalie's got a style. I said, Patrick Waugh had the butterfly. Marty Brodeur was a stand-up and challenge, made himself look big. Dominic Hasek had his style. Every goalie has their own style. I go, what's Jonathan Quick's style? Would you recommend kids follow you? He goes, they can try, but they're going to end up in the emergency room. That's what he told me.
He's like an elastic band.
That was in that interview too. It was priceless. He goes, they can try to copy me, but I just promise you they'll be in the they'll be in the emergency room.
He's done pretty well health-wise over here, though. He's still going. Good for him. Pierre, though, on the Montreal side, a lot of people were wondering if they would go back to Montembeault after a so-so game. They are not. They're going to go to Jakub Dobiš tonight when they welcome the Buffalo Sabres into Montreal. I've been listening to Montreal radio in and out all day. A lot of people are kind of disagreeing with this choice by Marty St. Louis. I have no issues with it. They're saying you're going to hurt the kid's confidence by not going back to him.
Which kid? Montembeau?
Montembeau.
No, they're in a rotation right now. You gotta understand. After tonight, you're going out to Calgary. You play there Wednesday, and then you're in Edmonton Thursday, back to back.
And then
Come on,
Vancouver.
like you get there. This is a long. Then they go into Vancouver. Then they go to Seattle. Then they come home. Like this is a marathon, not a sprint. Nobody's feelings are going to be hurt. Trust me.
No, exactly.
They know what's going on. I feel bad that fans are actually thinking that because you know what?
Yeah.
Those are smart fans in Montreal. They really are. They're good fans.
It could be the media spicing it up.
I think somebody's trying to stir it up.
Yeah,
to me.
exactly.
I can just tell you, there's no way Sam Montembeau is going to be affected by him not going back in the night. No.
And truth be told, besides letting up the first goal, like he's done now, 12 of the last 13 starts, Dobish has been solid. He gets better as the game goes on. So, I mean, that's not the big issue right now. If I'm looking at it, actually, I'll ask you, if you're looking at the Canadians right now, you had to isolate one part of their game that you want to see improve. What is it?
Power play.
There you go.
The power play is
That's
brutal.
plain and simple.
Okay. So first
goalie has nothing to do with that, by the way.
The goalie does have something to do in the penalty kill. Their penalty killing is 24th in the league.
Yep.
So that needs to get better in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to say, well, they don't have Yoel Armia and they don't have Christian Dvorak and they don't have Emil Heineman. And that's a bunch of nonsense. Okay. Yoel Armia is in LA. Go check out their record. Okay. He's not made a difference there. And that's not a knock on Yoel. I'm just trying to support the Canes. So the goalies need to be better. The penalty kill scheme needs to be better. But the power play, there is no excuse for this power play to be 17th in the league, 18.2%. No excuse.
No, not with the weapons they have.
No.
Down south to the team that I cover a lot, the Boston Bruins, Pierre. We were talking about them earlier off the air. Now we're starting to see what this team might be. I mean, look, are they going to be in a lot of games? Yeah, I don't think they're going to get blown out a lot. I think they'll be competitive, but they just don't have the artillery. It's plain and simple. And if the small amount of artillery they have up front does not show up, they're done. I mean, that's just plain and simple. And
that's very fair of you. Limited thrust through the middle. They're going to have a little sit down with Middlestat.
Yeah, they already scratched him once.
They're going to have to because they need him to elevate, and he's not doing that. And I think he can. He hasn't showed it yet, but I do believe the skill set is there. But he's going to have to do it. For him, it's a mental exercise too.
Yeah,
you got to get in there and want to compete. You can see right now, they missed Hampus Lindholm bad.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, do they miss him bad?
Yeah. And the other thing I'm looking at too, Pierre, I know they brought in a new power play guy and Steve Spott to run the power play for them. And great assistant coach. He has a history of putting together great power plays. It doesn't seem like they've allowed him to put his mark on it yet. Because all I see is the same stuff from last year. And you know that I'm a huge Charlie McAvoy fan. Absolutely.
We both are.
Okay. I love the kid. I think he will likely win a Norris Trophy some year. However, running a power play is not his forte, in my opinion. They've tried it over and over. It's not working. And I don't know if it's a lack of they don't have somebody to put in there. Maybe try Hampus Lindholm. I don't know. But they need to try something different. There's got to be a different look. It's just too predictable right now.
It is. It's never been the same without Bergeron, without Krejci.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you had the big Z there, the shot was either really respected or he would jam the net and people couldn't move him. And so you had a presence. That presence isn't there right now. Everybody knows pasta, and more pasta. That's fine. I wonder what's going on, by the way, in terms of some of the stuff going on around pasta. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep, he was benched at the end of the game in Vegas.
Yep.
And then that was in Colorado, excuse me.
Yep.
And he came out, he answered with 2 goals last night, but still there's something weird going on there right now. And we'll just leave it at that for now.
We'll get more in depth on the Bruins at some point.
Goes on. Yeah.
I have a very good person that works in Boston. His name starts with a J and his last name starts with an M. I trust him. He'll find out what's
By the way, though, speaking of Boston, big storyline tomorrow. Brad Marchand will be making playing his first game. He was there 4 days after he was traded, but this will be his first game playing in front of the TD Garden faithful. And he was hilarious today. I was watching some of the stuff before we came on. Said he went out to dinner last night with Tuukka Rask, Patrice Bergeron, and I forget who the other
He
guy
didn't
was.
say where they went, did he? Because I know where he likes to go.
Oh, he didn't say, but he said they made him pay considering his new contract.
Oh, I know where he went, and and he did pay.
Yeah, he said they bullied him into paying. It's
He
pretty funny.
paid. I know
But-
where he likes to go. It's near the seaport, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, he paid. If he
Yeah.
went there, and I'm pretty sure that's where he went.
Yeah. So it was good. We'll see how he does tomorrow. I have a feeling that he's gonna have a big game tomorrow. I mean, they need it. Maybe they can use that return to get going because that's a team right now, and not really to any fault of their own. They've just been the victim of fatigue and injuries right now. They're sputtering.
I give Buffalo a lot of credit. I know people are going to go after Florida for getting shut out in Buffalo on Saturday afternoon. I watched the whole game. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm telling you right now, Buffalo played a really good game.
They really did.
Buffalo played a really good game. Alex Lyon was good when he had to
I'm
be.
so happy you brought him up.
He was good when he had to be, but I watched and they had some injuries too. Buffalo's got some injuries. They're going in with not a very heavy lineup into Montreal tonight because they got some guys nicked up there. But I know people are going to rip Florida, but I'm telling you, sometimes the other team deserves credit too. And I think the Buffalo Sabres deserve some credit on that. They really do.
Yeah.
They made it hard. You know what, here's a skill testing question for you, Jimmy. And I bet you our next guest, or our only guest today, might know it because he follows and reads the stats, Jonny Lazarus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who the number one penalty killing team in the National Hockey League is?
I do not, and I apologize. I should.
Well, you don't have to apologize because nobody was going to get this right. I don't even know if Johnny would. I know how much he
Is
looks
it
at
Buffalo?
Buffalo Sabres.
Wow.
Buffalo Sabres have been shorthanded 23 times this year. They've only given up 1 goal against.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad you brought up Alex Lyon because this is what, I can think of the time at the end of the stretch run for Florida a few years back when they knocked off the Bruins in that upset.
Yep.
He has been the guy you go to when you have a goalie out for an extended period of time. You can depend on him. He might not be the guy you can depend on as a number one the whole season, but if you need a guy in a pinch, Alex Lyon's the man.
You go to where his hometown is, Baudette, Minnesota. It's way up north. It's cold there. It's cold. And here's a kid that Minnesota, USHL, Yale University.
Wow.
Pretty good story.
Yeah,
Pretty good story.
I
Tell you one thing. He had a really good goalie. He was a really good player in the ECAC.
Yep.
He was a really good goalie.
All right. Well, let's switch over to the New York Rangers right now and bring in our good friend Jonny Lazarus from the Daily Faceoff. You can see him every morning there live with our good friend Colby Cohen. Johnny, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, fellas. Thanks for having me. And I was sitting here laughing because I was thinking Buffalo and Pierre was going to say who's the best shorthanded team, but I think they've maybe given up more goals against on their power play.
They have
one shorthanded one goal.
They've given up 2 shorties. Yeah, you got it. That's exactly right.
When does that happen?
If we had the answer, we wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see you guys. Happy to be back. Happy that
for sure. Did you go away at the beginning of the season, Johnny, or right at the end of the preseason?
Yeah, I had a wedding in Italy with my girlfriend, so I missed a couple games. I got to watch the Buffalo game at 2 a.m. Italy time, but I missed the game against Pittsburgh for the Rangers.
Gotcha.
So still feeling guilty about that one, but
fun,
a great time. Awesome.
I have not been there.
Yeah, Jimmy, it'd be hard to go to Italy for a wedding with pasta, red wine, and probably some pretty beautiful sights.
Yeah. Wasn't bad.
I hear you.
Sure.
I hear you. So, all right, we're not going to get carried away, but what did you like about the Rangers in that game at Montreal the most?
Honestly, that game last year, they lose that game 6-1. So I like the fact that they're able to bounce back, get punched in the face, and get back up. I think that's something that the fans needed to see because the home opener felt like game 83 of what we saw last year. And since then, this has been a really good hockey team. And the results might not show it, the numbers might not show it, but all those underlying numbers that people love to talk about, I'm personally a fan of them. They support it. The Rangers have been limiting high danger chances. They've been getting quality chances themselves. And honestly, they haven't been scrambling around their D zone like they were a lot last year. So for them to go down 2-0 the way they did, take a couple penalties or in that game also in the Bell Center on a Saturday night. Yeah. To your point, Jimmy, for the guy to do it too, for Mika Zibanejad to score a one-time goal, the way he did, the way we saw a few years back and have missed for the past couple of years. That's super encouraging because he's the guy who's been, I think, their motor on offense so far through 7 games. And if the Rangers are going to go anywhere this year, they need him to be a whole lot better, and he has been so far.
They need another guy to go full-time. His name is Artemi Panarin. He was going Saturday night. I agree with you, Johnny, on Zibanejad. Why has it been a tough start for a guy that needs a contract next year in Panarin?
Yeah, you know what? I was talking about it today at the rink at Morning Skate for Minnesota, and Peter Baugh and I were talking about it, and I think the main thing that's missing from Panarin's game right now, he's not very assertive. Over the past couple of years, especially that 23-24 year, it felt like he was one-timing the puck a lot, and now he's getting the puck, and instead of one-timing at home, he's hanging on to it for an extra second or two. There was one play in the Edmonton game, I think, specifically, Mika comes in a 2-on-2 rush. He beats the first defenseman wide, then to 2-on-1. He goes across the slot to Panarin, and instead of one-timing it past Skinner, Panarin hangs on, holds it for 2 seconds, then shoots it right in Skinner's chest.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. Sometimes, it's only human nature, as you guys both know. Like when you're not scoring goals, you think about it a little bit too much, or you overthink, or you get a little hesitant. But for a guy like Panarin, especially to your point, Pierre, who's in a contract year, you'd think the hunger would be there a little bit more. And, it's lacked a little bit, but maybe that performance on Saturday night, I think he had a goal and 3 assists. Yeah, 4-point game. So maybe that gets him going a little bit. But, I still think he's getting used to this, as Mike Sullivan put it, punt and hunt style of hockey, which is like the alley-oop play that the defensemen make. Because, he's not a north-south guy. He's an east-west guy. And, I think he's adjusting to trying to generate scoring chances off the forecheck as opposed to making a play over the blue line.
In terms of the contract with him, is that something that both sides have just agreed we're going to table that for now and let things play out the way they do, or is there talks going on?
I mean, I don't really have any inside source on that for me. Like, I'm only going to repeat what I've been hearing.
Can I salute you and say congratulations on being honest?
Oh yeah,
I was just going to say the same thing.
We're in an epidemic problem in our league right now, and it is people that are pretenders. Yeah. You're not a pretender, so I want to acknowledge you for being honest.
That's the greatest answer. When you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, right? I'm just going to repeat what everyone else is telling you. There are definitely certain things that I do find out that other people might not know, but I'm also not one who's like looking to break any news.
Right.
But I can tell you my opinion of what I think they should do. I've been very vocal about the fact that they should move on from Panarin. And I love Artemi Panarin. Like I've gotten to know him a little bit over the past couple of years. Always a great guy to talk to pretty candidly after a game. Even when he plays, poorly, he's still willing to talk to the media and give his honest opinion. But the Rangers, and the point I keep making, even when he's at his best and the team is at his best, it's still been short of the goal. It still hasn't been good enough. And, when you're talking about a guy who's, 35 years old, I think is, or he's going to be 35 years old. If you're going to sign him to a deal, do you think you're getting even better out of him? I don't see that happening.
Right.
And we're seeing right now, the Rangers have the goaltending. The coaching's been better. If they can strengthen out their blue line and use that money to maybe, build out a more complete roster as opposed to getting that big fish, that big star that they've always done, going back to Rick Nash, Gaborik, Kane, Tarasenko, they've always gotten that big name that was available, but it's never helped them get over the hump. So, I've told people, listen, if you don't re-sign Panarin and you find a way to get Alex Tuch, I think that actually does that's better for this team. And I'm not saying Alex Tuch's a better player than Artemi Panarin. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think Alex Tuch and his style of play might be what the Rangers need more of.
That's really good. That's a good take. I like that a lot. I'll tell you something you're not going to like.
Okay. Oh God.
How come there was this alienation process with Christopher Kreider last year in New York?
As far I think was Trouba's name was in it originally, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it started with him, then it went to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that all about, Johnny? Like, seriously.
You know what?
You know him as well as I do. Like, he's a good, honorable human being. He's a highly cerebral guy. He wouldn't start in trouble there, I don't believe.
No, you know what? The Empty Netters guys did a great interview with him, and they're friends with him. I'm sure they got some stuff about behind the scenes that I wouldn't know. But the way that everything was handled last year, I don't have an explanation as to why. Like, I don't think Chris Kreider stormed into Chris Drury's office and was like, mother effing him, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it.
But I think, how do I word this? With Bill Zito in Florida and them like trading Huberdeau the way they did, I think, and again, that probably wasn't like we don't need this guy, we don't want this guy, we need him out of here. But that was like the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Cutthroat kind of move, maybe, to get rid of a guy who just had like an MVP season, 115 points, and you ship him off to Calgary. And I think tough love maybe is what the Rangers were going for. You know, again, like it's hard to really pinpoint an answer as to why Kreider was looked at as like a problem.
Right.
Yeah, Jimmy, go. Yeah.
Class act. No, I mean, yeah, it just seems like maybe that's the wrong guy to take that tough love.
I see what he's doing.
Guys I could think of on that team.
I see what he's doing out in Anaheim right now with those young guys. He's making a difference there.
Yeah. But I do think to that point, like, you know, they knew they had Perreault. They thought they had more in Othman, and Kreider was kind of blocking that left wing position for the younger guys to come in.
Yeah,
so
sometimes you got to move on. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was right for them to move on, and to, you know, it was a cap dump move, obviously.
Yeah.
But the way they did it, I think maybe not the right way. But I don't disagree with. I don't disagree with the move.
Yeah, no. But the way you said it, it makes a lot of sense. You were talking about cutthroat actions with Huberdeau. I could think of one in Vegas when they brought in Robin Leonard and turfed Marc-Andre Fleury. That was about as vicious as anything I've seen. I was there. It was in the bubble in Edmonton. That was a whole lot of nasty. And Fleury, he was unbelievable. What a class act he was to deal with that whole thing. That was, I'm telling you, that was about as tough as any move I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Pierre, you know, like I think cutthroat things often lead to championships. I was a part of one. You know, at UMass, it wasn't easy. We got a lot of guys got cut, but they ended up winning a champ. You know, like that's just how that's how it goes. You need the guys who are going to deliver and the guys who are going to, you know, bring their best every night. And if you're not doing that, like you need to win, right? This is a business of winning. So if the guys that are there aren't doing it, you got to do it the way you got to do it, I guess. Right?
It's fair.
To you, like, I think Pierre and I touched on this a couple times last year. We felt like, and we're big fans of this player, Adam Fox.
Yeah.
But we felt like something was a little off, right?
Yeah.
I feel like whatever that might have been, he's figuring it out, and he just seems more himself this year. You seen that as well?
Yeah, I mean, also having David Quinn, I think, helps too. You know, obviously Foxy's thrive with David Quinn. For whatever reason, I don't think it clicked maybe with Phil Housley. And,
USA hockey, baby.
Yeah, and that's a lot of guys too. Like, you know, Mika, again, like he looks more like himself for whatever reason than the past 2 years. And Mika's a guy who thrived with David Quinn behind the bench as well. And I don't have the explanation for that per se, but I do know Adam Fox, who's known to be, you know, not the fastest, not the strongest, in a man-to-man D zone, you know, chances are he'll get burned from time to time, right? Like it's a tough D zone to play, especially when you're going against the top players in the other teams. But this year, you know, I think Mike Sullivan has called it, or Vinny Trocheck called it, like a quadrant defense, where, you know, guys or they know when to hand off their man to the next person. You know, if a forward's rolling up the wall and the D's going for the interchange, they know just stay with the guy coming down the wall as opposed to making that switch. You know, I think that was something that the Rangers got burned on a lot last year, and having that third guy roll up high, you know, confuses the defense a little bit. And I think Foxy thinks the game so well and understands and plays the game at a faster pace than his feet move. And I think the way that this system is constructed, it's allowing him to just think less, if that makes sense.
Yep.
That's really well said. Back in the day, it was called the dice defense, by the way.
The dice defense? Why is that?
Because you'd have 2, 1, and 2. Looks like 5 on a dice.
There we go.
There you go. So that's what it used to be called. It's not really anything new. So I'll just straighten everybody up.
I've never heard it been called quadrant.
I like that.
I mean,
it used to be called the dice. Anyways, that's okay. It's all good. Things really haven't changed that much in the game. We just changed the terms.
Different references.
You know, that's a new thing.
One thing that's definitely changed, Pierre, I was actually, who was I talking about this with last week? I was wondering when the drop pass on the power play breakout became like,
slingshot.
Yeah, the slingshot, exactly. Like that was 10 years ago, maybe when it started.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I'll tell you right now, like I remember being at the Quebec Pee Wee tournament, watching my kid play, and the Detroit Red Wings were playing the Montreal Canadiens, and I was watching the game. And I called him up afterwards. Vinny Donfus was working as a color analyst for TVI, I think it was at the time. And I was watching the game in French. And I called Vinny up to tell him, like, I said, dude, you did a fantastic job because they were using the slingshot. I'm talking about Detroit. Mm-hmm. And Montreal came up with a scheme to take the slingshot away. And Vinny illustrated it really well on tape. It was really well done. Nice. And so that would have been about 12 years ago. So, yeah, you're right in that vintage. But
yeah,
you're right.
I never did that until I got to college. My freshman year, that was the first time we did the slingshot. And then I actually was like, I remember I was like coaching a middle school hockey game because like my family friend was the head coach and he just like had me come on the bench while I was home for Christmas. Yeah. And I taught the sixth graders to like do the drop pass and they thought I was like Jackie Moon and yeah. But that's something that like I feel like that's, you know, what's the next iteration of the slingshot breakout? Because everyone does that, right? Like how do PKers not know what to do by now when everyone's doing the same thing?
Well, I'd go back and look at the tape of Montreal because they did it so well against Detroit that night. It was crazy how good they were. You know, it's another thing that really changed in hockey, the 1-3-1 power play or the bumper. And everybody credits the Bruins for running that bumper. That thing started with Guy Boucher at the 2009 World Junior in Ottawa. You go watch the Canadiens. So Subban was on that. Ryan Ellis was on it. Johnny Tavares was on it.
Yeah. That was like the first World Junior I ever watched.
Was it?
Yeah. That was like the Eberle backhand tying goal against
Jordan was on
the motto, right?
Yeah. That was sick.
That was where that bumper, quote unquote bumper, but they were calling it the 1-3-1. And then Boston started doing their like the bumper.
Like the Bergeron right there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Hey, Johnny, before we let you go, so when you were coming in this season and you're saying, you know, if the Rangers are to make it back into the playoffs and they're going to be one of the teams in Metro, what team are you looking at that might drop out?
I think the biggest
possible.
Do I think what?
Do you think that still could happen?
That the Rangers make the playoffs?
No, the team that you're thinking could drop out.
Oh yeah, I thought it was Washington.
Pierre, see,
I think I don't think that's unpopular though.
Yeah.
Because I think last year, like everything that could have went right for them did.
That's how I felt too.
You know, and they got great goaltending, obviously from Logan Thompson and Charlie Lindgren, but you know, I still look at their lineup, and I think their blue line is very strong, and I still think they have great goaltending, but. You know, similar to other teams, like similar to the Rangers, everyone says the same thing. Where is their bottom? Like, where's their depth scoring going to come from? Obviously, Ryan Leonard's a guy you look at on their third line. Sonny Milano is now back and healthy, who's you know, a pretty decent scoring threat, and Brandon Duhaime can put the puck in the back of the net too. But like, I don't know. I just don't know outside their top six. Like, do you have a 20-goal third liner there? And
Hendricks Lapierre might be, but they got to play him.
Yeah. Well, he played in the playoffs like 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. They got to get back to putting his butt on the ice because he's not going to get there, but he's got the talent to do it. Hendricks Lapierre.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm excited for when Cole Hudson steps in there next year. Hopefully he makes that team out of BCBU.
Well, he better. I mean, he's not as good as Lane, but there's a lot of similarities there. Before we let you go, I'm going to say something that you're going to like. Okay.
I'm scared. I'm scared I'd rather hate it than love it.
No, you're going to like this. I think the New York Rangers have the most underrated fourth line center in the National Hockey League. I think Sam Carrick is, and I watch almost every game in the league. I think he's the most underrated depth player in the league. I do. I would love to coach that guy.
Yeah.
I would love to coach that guy.
I think he's been their second best forward this year. I really do. And if you're looking at it from a money perspective, I think he's been their best forward because he's making $1 million.
Jimmy, I'm just telling you right now, not enough people even know who this guy is. And go ahead. No, go, Johnny.
I was praising him for what he did on Saturday night. You know, first of all, to get a body on Lane Hudson, I mean, you don't see that happen very often the way he did it. And then to answer the bell with Arbor Jack Eye, and to hold his own. You know, Sam Carrick is not nearly close in size to Arbor Jack. He's not a small guy by any means, Sam Carrick. I think he's
but he's thick. He's thick. He's a thick guy.
Yeah.
Also incredibly humble. Like talking to him after a game, he's
huge fan. If you see him, please tell him what I said, because I think that kid's so underrated, and he might be one of the best depth players in the league right now. I'm telling you. And then there was one other one I wanted to.
Well, before you lose your train of thought, Pierre, I'm going to ask him straight up after the game. Pierre McGuire says you're the most underrated forward in the league tonight. What do you make of that comment? I might ask him that straight up.
Bring me heat, Johnny. I like that.
I will.
There was one other one I wanted. Oh, hey, what happened between Jonathan Quick and Lane Hudson?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I mean, I watched the game on TV, so I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
I think Lane got Carrick after the hit, like maybe interfered with him a little bit. I'd have to go back and watch the replay.
Yeah, but it's weird that Quickie would get involved like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
a young guy too.
You know what I mean? And a USA guy and like the whole everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I found that really. I thought the Rangers got better after that. By the way.
Yeah, they did. Well,
Yeah.
Lafreniere also hit the post right before that.
Yeah,
fight.
like I thought the Rangers like boom, and maybe Quickie knew what he was doing. I don't know.
Maybe that's what he was trying to do. Yeah, trying to get the team going. Who knows?
But also, Jonathan Quick, like if I asked him that question, he would never give me the real answer. Like he would never.
I told Jimmy before, Johnny, I was interviewing him once during the Stanley Cup final, and I said, hey, you know, people will copy Marty Brodeur, they copy Patrick Roy, they copy Dominik Hasek. What would you say to families that want their kids to copy you? Says, get ready to go to the emergency room because you're not going to stay very healthy.
Yeah, he's
amazing answer.
His save though. How about his save late on Cole Caulfield?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That like toe save he made to stretch out fully. Yeah, he's been listen, I think a lot of Ranger fans when they've signed him 2 years ago were like, why the hell are we bringing in Jonathan
Everyone
Quick?
thought he was washed up. That's it.
And he's been such a big part of that room.
Yeah,
he really has.
Because he knows how to win. That's why.
Yeah. That was the best. Honestly, one of my favorite conversations that I've had, like since I started doing this as a job, was like a one-on-one I did with Quick after the Rangers lost games 4 and 5 against Carolina. Because he's been on both sides, I think. He's come back from up 3. He's come back from down 3.
They were down 3-0 when he was in LA.
Yeah. And I think I don't think he blew a 3-0 lead, but whatever. Either way, he was basically just saying like what everyone really says. Momentum does not go from game to game in the playoffs. Like, and he's the only guy in this room besides Connor Sheary that's won a cup.
Right.
The Rangers has won.
Yeah.
Well, the coaches, you got a couple that have been around it.
Well, players.
But I agree with you. But that's true. And that's why I told Jimmy before, I like Quickie being there. I think he makes a big difference, Johnny. I do. And it's for what you just said. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
You keep doing what you're doing, pal. I'm telling you. Awesome. Great performance.
Thank you. Love you guys. You guys are the best.
Thank
All right,
you.
Dan. Go UMass.
Best of luck.
Jonny Lazarus joining us here on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. Yeah, I mean, every team, if you're going to compete, Pierre, like you said, he's won. That's the biggest thing right there.
So he walks in that dressing room.
Yeah, what that means.
He walks in that dressing room. You don't think guys listen to him?
He's got street cred. He's got tons of street cred.
Big, and he's tough, and the guys know that. You know, you think about TJ Oshie's moment at the Olympics in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the goalie?
There you go. And remember what you told me, Pierre, the other day when I said I said, hey, because I hadn't seen your post-game show, but I said, did you catch what Caulfield did when he scored the OT winner on Thursday? Yeah. He just went straight for the goalie, straight to Dobas. And you brought that up. You said, yeah, it was just like Oshie.
Oshie with Quick. I was right there. And then I turned around and Mr. Putin's bodyguards were all behind me. And I'm like, oh boy, this could get messy. So I call the truck and I'm like, make sure the camera stays on me so they're not going to try to do something to me.
Yeah. Get me out of here.
That was tense, man. That was a tough one. That was really different. There were not too many happy Russian people that night. I'll tell you that. Oh boy.
I hear you. Well, it's interesting though. That's we've been trying to figure out forever, ever since last year, what was going on with that team. And I'm not saying they figured it out yet, Pierre, but there is something different about him. I think he made the best point there when he said they lose that game 6-1 last year.
Oh, they mailed it in last year. We talked about on the show. I'm sure Ranger fans didn't like us, but we told the truth. And the truth was something internally was going wrong there, and there was a big problem there.
Yeah.
And I still don't know if it's fixed. I don't think the Rangers have shopped enough to get ready for the season. Doesn't mean they won't.
Fix it in season. Yeah, they still can.
They still could, but they can't go on prolonged droughts because they've put themselves in a tough spot right now. They really have.
And I think too, the other thing that I agree with what Johnny said there too, and we all agreed. We were saying it last year. Look, sometimes you got to move on from a guy, even if he's the most popular guy around, like a Chris Kreider. He's been there forever and he's done a lot for the organization. Sometimes it's just time, but you don't have to keep advertising it so much in the media. You don't let the leaking. That was the biggest thing that bothered us.
We talked about this how many times last year?
I'm not seeing that this year, Pierre.
No.
It seems like they shut the valves.
I think that was a mandate from Mike Sullivan when he went in. And he said,
I'm coming here, that's not happening.
There are a couple things that have to happen. One, I get to pick my coaching staff, and part of my staff is David Quinn. So if I don't get David Quinn, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, you guys got a sieve in here. It's leaking like crazy. We cannot run a railroad this way. If you want me to come, that stops.
Right.
That stops.
Like, I think when Chara, when it came to the end for Chara in Boston, now given it was during COVID, so it was a little easier to hide, but you didn't hear it coming up. Like, it wasn't every week hearing some negative story about Z. That was it. They moved on, and that happens, and that happens in sports. It's part of sports.
The Trouba thing got nasty.
That was the worst.
Trouba didn't ask to be the captain of that team. They made him the captain.
Yeah.
He didn't ask to be. They made him the captain. They didn't like what they liked or didn't like what they saw. They didn't have to blast the guy.
No.
They didn't have to
drag his wife into it either.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And look, you ask anybody, you know me, Jimmy, I'm pretty strict. I don't like messing around or shenanigans. And I'll just tell you right now, there were way too many shenanigans there last year. Way too many in New York.
It seems like they've fixed that aspect.
Yes, I agree. They have. Yes. And I hope that works out well for them. But they still need to fix parts of their roster. And they're lucky. I'm telling you, this Carrot kid, I'm telling you, dude, he is so undervalued.
Talking on Friday when I was driving home from seeing Maddie, and you were talking to Mitch, and he said, give me a player nobody's talking about on the Rangers. And you said him. And then he goes in and does what he does in that game. So, yeah he's definitely underrated.
I think the kid I can't say enough good things about him. I'm just telling you. I'd love to coach a player like that. I love those. Like, I had Mark Janssens, who was just like that. Brian was a Hall of Famer, but Brian was like that. Randy Gillen. Give me guys like that. Those guys you can really help. They're good players, boy.
Yep, good stuff. Before we move on to our Q&A and to our sponsors here, Pierre, I just want to ask you, I brought up the quote to you today when we were talking from Ryan Rosofsky, the coach in San Jose. And look, we all know they're in a rebuild, but you're human, and losing and losing and losing and going this deep into a season without a win, you're human. It's going to get frustrating, but I should have clipped it and gave it to Shane. I forgot. Sorry. He says, I'd give up one of my kids right now for a bleeping win.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been in a situation similar to that, Pierre. Maybe when, maybe it was in Hartford or what, and you're down in the dumps and it's just one thing after another.
Yeah.
How do you balance that? How do you hide your emotions when you have to face the media?
You debrief before you go out with your assistants, and they calm you down. If you got real good assistants, they're going to say, okay, we know you're hot. So let's do it. The hot stuff will be tomorrow with the team and the players. We don't need to have mixed messages in the press. Scotty was so good at teaching me these things.
Yeah.
And I had a couple faux pas when I was coaching where I got over emotional, I got really angry, and it was stupid. And I look at it now, I would never make the same mistake again. I'm telling you, I never would. Mm-hmm. But part of that is I learned this from Bowman. You got to make sure you have assistants that aren't afraid to tell you, hey,
calm down. Yeah.
And Scotty was so good at this, and he taught Bob Johnson this. I wish Badger was still alive. I wish he was, because he would tell you the same thing. He would love coming on this show, by the way, the Badger.
I wish I could have
loved it. He was so good. And Scotty said, Bob, before every press conference, you should talk to your assistants and ask them, what do you want to get out there? What's the message tonight?
Yep.
What did we do well? Oh, our power play was great. Oh, our penalty killing was great. Oh, our goalie was great. Like, always find more positives and negatives.
I'm with you. All right, good stuff. Well, let's get to our sponsors here. Let's tell you about Avago up in Montreal, right there in Westmount.
13th of November, I'm going to be there. Jimmy's invited. I don't know if he'll
I
come.
appreciate it. Thank you. I will do my best. I plan on it, unless something else comes up here. That's
Well, I know what
family
comes up
emergency
with
would be the
you.
only thing.
I know what comes up with you. Just calm down.
That will be for after the games are done.
Okay.
Anyhow, you want to go over to Vago because they do a great job of combining old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion, open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They're located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that is 514-846-1414. And then, of course, our wonderful sponsors, Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet the beauties. So join the action right now. Go to that QR code in front of you. Create your membership because they get a great membership deal going on for new members. You can go there or you go to the members section on the website and fill out the form. And once you do, even if you lose your first bet, you can get up to $200 credit on your first bet. It is not available in Ontario right now. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply, and always bet responsibly. Pierre, until it stops working, I'm going with the Dobis bet right now. He's now 12 of 13. 12 of his last 13 starts. Dobish is giving up the first goal, but he's recovered in a lot of them. I believe 8 of those he has won. So it's not like he gives up the first goal and then he falls apart and spirals from there. He actually regroups and gets better as the game goes on. I don't know, though, about tonight, Pierre. I have a weird feeling about Buffalo. I like the way they're playing right now, but as you said, they're banged up a bit. But I'm going to stay away from the side because I don't have any idea who wins that game. So give me the Buffalo Sabres to score the first goal in Montreal tonight. And I also like the under. I think with the way Alex Lyon's playing, with the way Dobish plays after that first goal's allowed, I think it settles down and it's a low-scoring game. Right now, over at Betway, you can get that at 6.5, under 6.5 goals, and the Sabres to score the first goal. All right, let's get to the Q&A. Seamoke Hockey Training. Oh, thank you, Seamoke. Gave us the $4.99 donation for the coffees there. One proud hockey dad to another, Pierre. Congrats on Ryan's first career AHL games. Elijah had his first career hat trick. Congrats to Elijah this weekend in his second career game. That's awesome. Proud dad moments. I love it.
Well, I'm excited for his boy getting a hat trick. That's pretty good.
I know, huh?
That's good.
Awesome. All right, well, keep it up, Elijah. All right, next question. What do we have? The Sedita 17. Gents, it's been a while since I've seen the Lightning at the bottom of the standings with only one win so far and the league being tough night in, night out. Should there be concern?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm worried about their defense.
Me too.
I really am. I saw New Jersey go in there and do a tap dance on that defense, and that can't happen.
And something's up with Vasilevsky. I don't know what it is. I don't have any.
Well, when you're getting jammed all the time in tight, people are coming down hard on him.
He's not used to that.
He's not ready for that. He's not ready. It's not he's not ready. That's not the right term. He's not used to it. To use your term is better.
And Pierre, too, let's not forget, he pretty much missed all of training camp. And we've seen what that does for goalies. So
yeah, ask Jeremy Swayman last year.
Exactly. All right, next question. Chris Gaming TV. What's up, Chris? Pierre, I know you think it's better for
Rudnick and Kindle.
Yeah, and Kindle to go play in the World Juniors. But for the development of a young player, isn't it better to be around guys like Crosby, Malkin, and Letang?
They will be around those guys. The World Junior is only a 3-week period. And it's at the holiday season where there's still time off for these players. So I'd prefer them to go play World Junior for Team Canada and dominate the World Junior. You come back, it's about a 10-day period where you're a little bit sluggish just because of the mental, but you're not going to Europe this year. It's in Minnesota. And that's why I proposed that on Pittsburgh radio, that I thought they can keep these players up for the whole year, but loan them at Christmas time to the World Junior team of Canada. And you know, the highway's littered with players that have done that. Like Buffalo, Yuri Kulik did that for Buffalo and Rochester. He went and played in 3 World Juniors after he was a pro player. Marc-Andre Fleury in 2004, he was drafted first overall in 03, played in the NHL in 03 and 04, they let him go play for Canada at the World Junior in Helsinki, Finland. Like the highway's littered with players that have done this. Kirby Doc for Montreal Canadiens. He was with Chicago then, played in the World Junior after he played in the NHL with Johnny Taves and with Patrick Kane. So it's happened with other guys.
Yeah.
I think it's the right thing to do.
I agree with Pierre. And I've seen players that haven't gone say that they wish they did. All right. Next question. Costa, what's up, coach? I don't find very much value in GSAC stat since you can quantify goals beyond a game-to-game basis. Why do so many people use it to evaluate a goalie's effectiveness?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're with you, Costa.
I just go timeout.
Yep, we're with you.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't.
All right, next question. What do we got? JL3335. What is Pierre's take on Josh Doan? Wow. Great game.
So I've been watching Josh Doan play since he played at the Brick Tournament in Edmonton, and you can go look it up. In the first game, it was LA Junior Kings versus Mid-Fairfield Rangers. Josh Doan had 2 goals, and a kid named Ryan McGuire had 2 goals. They were the player of the game, and the coaches figured it out, and they let them beat each other up. At like 9 years, it was pretty good to watch. Josh Doan's a really good player.
Yeah.
I watched him in the Quebec Pee Wee tournament with the Arizona Bobcats, I think they were called. Watched him play at Arizona State head-to-head with Colgate, and he's really good. I've been watching him a long time. He's a really good player. He's a great person. He's a great person.
Yeah, I feel like you brought him up like a week ago or maybe the week before, Pierre. When Kessering went down, when he was injured, we were talking about him being injured. You said, hey, don't forget about Josh Doan, the other guy they got in that deal.
You know, it's a pretty cool story. So he told her that thing from the Brick. They both scored 2. Doan got 2. McGuire got 2. The first ever goal in the new rink in Arizona at Arizona State, Josh Doan's the first ever goal scorer.
Yep.
You know who the first visitor goal scorer ever was? Ryan.
Oh my gosh.
So
these guys are like linked.
That's what I'm saying. They've been playing against each other. Now Doan's in the NHL, my guy's not. But my point is that they grow up playing against each other all the time. It's pretty amazing.
Cool. That's good. Do they know each other? They keep in touch at all? Or
I don't think they keep in touch. They've had some.
That'd be amazing if they ever ended up on the same team.
They've had some collisions.
Okay, they keep in touch that way. All right, next question. Renaissance Resistor. Would you try Beck between Demidov and Bolduc?
Not yet. I would not. I would not. I want him to play deeper in the lineup to get his feet wet. Hopefully he's going to play tonight. I think he's playing with Joe Veleno and Bolduc tonight, I think. And if that happens, that'll be good for Owen. I want to play with – here's the one thing. If I were coaching, I would tell him, all right, training camp's over. You've played in the American League. You've had some good runs. Now prime time kicks in. And you're gonna show people you're ready for prime time. So you don't take any shifts off. You're 30 to 35 seconds. You're hard on it. You focus on the little details like face-offs, in zone coverage, making good decisions with the puck. All positive stuff with him. But I want him to know all that other stuff was to get ready for this. That was a dress rehearsal. Now it's prime time, and I want you to stay here.
Yeah. And by the way, Pierre, he's playing on the wing with Veleno, so he'll be there tonight on that.
Yeah.
I think I like that kid. I think he's going to have a good career.
I hope so, because I like him too. I like the way he carries himself. I really do. Yeah.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell. Hey, Pierre, how about Cooper Black and Jack Devine? When do you see them in the NHL? Congrats to you and your family on Ryan's AHL debut.
Yeah, thanks, Ethan. Cooper Black was outstanding in 2 games this weekend in Charlotte. I watched both, and Cooper Black was really, especially the first night. I know the scores looked a little unseemly. Cooper Black was a big part of the first night. Iowa outshot Charlotte pretty significantly in that game, but Cooper Black was good. I see Cooper Black, and you know who I think of right away, honestly? When I tell you this, Jimmy, you're going to say, come on, no way. Anthony Stolarz. He reminds me of Stolarz so much. It's unbelievable. I watched him play at Dartmouth, too, before he turned pro. In terms of Jack Devine's a point getter, and Jack Devine's playing tough. Jack Devine's playing well. You can see he's got the trust of the coach. I could see him playing in the NHL sooner rather than later. I think there are 8 to 9 players on that team in Charlotte that are almost NHL, if not already NHL ready.
Yeah, and speaking of Stolarz, kudos to him for speaking up after his team let the opponent run roughshod on him. I love it. That's how you change the culture there. And as you said to me off the air, Pierre, he knows how to win. He's got to speak up like that. It's good.
Yep.
All right, next question. Randy Workman, first of all, Jimmy, so happy to see you. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Thank you, Randy.
Very nice.
My question for Pierre and Jimmy, how fast should we all sell the Flames?
Hey, didn't we talk about this? Were you talking to Randy before?
No.
Did you? Oh, okay.
No.
Jimmy and I talked about this a lot today.
Yeah.
I'm going to say just before Christmas, I'm going to give it time still. I'm not ready to give up on them. They're having a hard time getting thrust through the middle. They're having a hard time getting pucks to the net. I mean, it's just they're having a hard time.
Pierre, I'm not sure if you're aware, Kevin Biexer's comments about
No.
So on Hockey Night in Canada, he said that there's a culture issue there and there's a lot of problems in the locker room. And some people that are in Calgary that are covering the team a lot more totally fought back on that and pushed back on it. I don't look at it like I didn't see it that way. I look at Calgary, Pierre, like I said to you, I think maybe they just overachieved the last couple of years and they are where they are and they're just building towards something. By the time that arena goes up, they'll be contending.
You'll hear me say this a lot if you watch this show, and Jimmy knows, and I've told this to Jimmy too. Unless you're there every day in the dressing room or on the ice with the players or the team, you don't know anything about what's going on in the dressing room. There, and some guy, you may say, "Well, I got it from a source in the dressing room." You don't know if that source has an agenda. You don't know. So I always quantify and say, "Hey, I wish I was there on a daily basis. I'd know a lot more. I trust the coach more than I trust me because he knows a lot more about his players than I know."
Exactly.
And so when it comes to that kind of stuff, I stay right out of it. I've never been in there. I would never do that. And I like Kevin. I think Kevin's a really good hockey announcer. I do. I'm just telling you. I think Kevin's a really – and I remember when he first started, they put him down between the benches, and he worked with me in a couple different situations. And I thought he was outstanding, really a gentleman. Mm-hmm. And I broadcast a lot of his games over time, a lot of them. So I never had an issue with him. So sometimes, look, we all say stuff that
I think the key thing, Pierre, too, you have to be careful of, and this is for anyone in our business, be careful, like Pierre just said, sometimes you're getting fed another person's agenda and they're trying to get it out there. So just, it's happened to me a million times. It happens. What are you going to do? All right, next question. Franco, Pierre McKenna. Gavin McKenna isn't necessarily burning it up at Penn State. You don't say. Short sample size, but is this too much for him too soon at 17 years old?
It's not too much and it's not too soon. It's about managing the expectation. And we tried to do this on this show when all these guys started coming down, whether it was Porter Martone, whether it was him. Michael Misa's playing in San Jose right now. I don't know. Yeah. Probably too much too soon for him. Try to warn people. This is not major junior. And that's not major junior's outstanding hockey. Yeah. But they're 16 and 17-year-old boys playing. These guys are coming down and they're playing against 23 and 24-year-old men.
Yeah.
It's a way different deal. We try to, Jimmy, how many times have we warned people?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a transition period. It's going to take time.
But he's so skilled. Good. He's going to be a very good player.
Yeah.
And, I know the draft list came out today. How could you not think he's going in the top 1 or 2 or 3 spots?
Yeah, exactly.
He is.
Yep. He'll get better. He'll get used
to it. You'll see. He'll just keep getting better. He'll keep getting faster, keep getting bigger. I know his coach really well. I worked with his coach. I coached his coach, Guy Godowski. He's an amazing hockey guy, and he'll just make that kid better and better all the time.
All right, next question. JL3335, why can't teams figure out Carolina's man-to-man defense? Why don't more teams copy it?
Well, they do. That's why Carolina hasn't played in the final since 2006. They have figured it out.
Yeah.
They run a lot of – and you watch the playoffs, what teams do. They run a lot of high cycle on them.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. What do we got? Any more? There we go. Sound of Siren. How are you, sir? Kane's picking up Brandon Bussey from Providence. He has been poised and mostly calm, opposite of Kachekov. How positive is this for Carolina? I like the kid. I always have here.
Yeah, I know you did. I think you and I actually saw him play in an NCAA tournament game against Northeastern University in Worcester a bunch of years ago, and we were bragging about him then. He's good.
Yeah,
he's a good goalie.
Good pickup.
The only thing I'd say about him, and I saw it the other day. I think it was in LA. You watch so many games, but he gave up a short side goal with a guy coming down the wing. That's just an adjustment because they're not used to guys being able to wire it that fast with that release point.
Right.
So he won't leave to cover the inside part of the net as much as he did. But that's the one fundamental. It's not a fundamental flaw. It's a one little fly in the ointment I've seen so far with him. He gives up a little bit of the short side too much and too soon. That will get adjusted. But he's a good goalie. He's a really good goalie.
All right, next question. A to Z me. How much longer does Pierre think that MSL is going to stick with Slavs on the top power play unit? Seems to me that by trying to give confidence to Slavs, he might be limiting Demidov's development and production.
It's a great and a fair question because last year I was trumpeting they got to get Michael Matheson off that first power play and get Lane Hudson on there. And it took about a month and a half, I think, Jimmy, for that to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Demidov's got probably another week to 2 weeks, and then I think he'll be on the first power play. Yeah.
All right. Next question. Gabriel Lamb. It's early, but which team has the most pressure? So far, Detroit has responded. They have. They deserve a ton of credit. I'm glad.
Absolutely. They've won 5 in a row. They look great. They're getting goaltending. Gibson was in goal yesterday. We talked about him at Finney last week, 7th round pick with Chris Draper, and how Drapes was just bragging about him.
Yeah.
And he goes out there and gets 2 goals yesterday. I've never seen, and I've known Dylan Larkin a long time when his nickname was D-Bomb. Okay, so a long time. And I've never seen Dylan play this well. I couldn't, of all the guys, you don't cheer for, I cheer for players. I cheer for people.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good kid. I cheer for him. I want him to do so well. I really do.
I got to say, Pierre, some of the teams we were talking about where the heat is on, Buffalo, Detroit, Rangers, what have you. Buffalo and Detroit specifically to me. Now, I know it's only 2 games for Buffalo. I'm not going to get carried away, but I do like the way they've answered the bell and they've kind of calmed things down, regrouped. Detroit did it right after the first game. It took Buffalo a little longer, but you can see they're out there playing a game now. They're not thinking too much out there. They're just playing, and that's good. But in terms of what team right now I would say the Rangers, if they got to keep this going. That was a good win in Montreal, but keep it going.
Yeah, so I'll say a couple teams. I think LA, because people aren't watching them enough. I think LA, go look at their record, and there's more expectation there, and it's Kopitar's last year, and Anse is hurt right now, so that's a bit of a problem. And also Kemper's hurt in goal. So Anton Forsberg's playing, and Anton's a tremendous teammate, unbelievable guy.
Yeah.
But he's having a tough start to the year right now. He is. He would be the first person to tell you that's the kind of guy he is. And the other place I'm a bit concerned, so I said LA. The other place I'm a bit is Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
A little concerned.
I'm going to stay on the West Coast and go north and inland a bit. What about the Edmonton Oilers? It's a road trip from hell for them right now.
Yeah, they're going into Ottawa tomorrow. They're probably there now. I was really disappointed in good portions of this trip for them. Their defensive zone coverage.
Game,
that
was not pretty.
So I would be showing this tape. If you haven't seen it, I really think people should see it if they're passionate about hockey. Watch New Jersey on a penalty kill and watch how hard Jersey is on the puck and watch what happens with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins losing the puck and their former teammate Connor Brown getting a shorthanded breakaway. Watch that play, and then you tell me how motivated Edmonton is right now.
Yeah. Something's up there. All right. What do we got? Any more? Yep. Craig Custard. Lightning are having problems with sustained pressure, getting shots in the prime areas, and even passing when shots are available. What can they do to improve?
Listen to the coach, the coaching staff. Make themselves a shot-first mentality. I used to do this with Patrick Poulin. I used to tell him all the time, you're not allowed to pass when you get inside the offensive blue line, because he was such a big guy and he could skate so well. But he would always try to pull up and make a cute play. And I'd be like, no, Patty, from now on, once you get inside the blue line, you got to get the puck to the net. Don't worry about the fancy plays. I want you to use your size. And he's such a big man, and he could really skate for a big person. And he started doing that. I think I could be wrong. You'd have to look it up, Jimmy. I think his first year he had 19 goals. I think if you look it up, I think he had 19.
I'm looking it up right now.
It would have been the 92-93 season. I think he had 19 goals.
20.
Did you get to – so there you go.
Get the 20 mark.
That was the rule. I'm just telling you that the rule was you're not allowed to pass the puck once you get to the line. I would, because I'd be breaking the tapes down. I'd be watching, going, he's got a wide open lane to the net. Like, what's he
Why is
doing?
he doing it? Yeah,
Because he wanted to be a good teammate. He wasn't doing it because he was being mean. He was doing it because he's a nice guy.
yeah, too nice.
And he was a lefty. He wanted to make nice passes. You know, he had the saucer pass down, and he went back behind the back and all. I was like, no, you're not doing that anymore.
Oh man.
So he did have 20. There you go. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
he did. All right, what do we got? Seamoke again. Pierre with Bertuzzi goal being disallowed, which I'm so baffled about. When is the league going to be more clear about goalie interference? I feel like it's still such a gray area.
And it's such a good point by Seamoke. I don't know what goalie. I'm being totally transparent on this one. I don't know what goalie interference is or isn't. I just don't know.
I don't think the players do either right now.
I just don't know.
All right, that looks like it's it for our question section here. Pierre, great stuff. Big thanks to Jonny Lazarus for joining us from
It
Daily
was great.
Face.
Johnny, you were
Really
outstanding, my man.
Yep.
Really good.
Big thanks to him. Pierre, I know you'll be bouncing around. Any post-game shows other than Montreal tonight or just Montreal?
Just Montreal tonight. Pittsburgh pregame show tomorrow. Ottawa Senators post-game show after the Edmonton game tomorrow.
All right, there we go. And I will just be watching. And then tomorrow I'll be post-game with the Bruins vibes after the Bruins Panthers and the return of Brad Marchand. Big thanks to Shane working the boards up in Montreal. And thanks to everyone out there for their questions and for listening and watching. He is Pierre McGuire. I'm Jimmy Murphy. This has been another edition of the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.